Okay, how to keep a bitch and train a bitch. Let's get into this. First off, man, keeping the bitch goes with really catching a bitch. The same thing that it took to catch them is the same thing that it's gonna take to keep them. So if they love, you know what I'm saying, the flashy shit, the Gucci, the, you know what I'm saying, the diamonds, the gold, you understand me, the drop top Mercedes Benz and this and that, you know, you can't go down to riding a Chrysler or a Chevy after that. You got to go Benz and then the drop top Porsche and then to Maserati or then to Porsche truck, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to stick with what you did to get her, okay? If she liked smooth conversation, you know what I'm saying, appealing to her ears and everything, you got to stay smooth, man, saying all the right words from the flyest songs and, you know, saying the most romantic songs and be the most dynamic person that, you know what I'm saying, she could ever hope to be with, man. And you know what I'm saying, and everywhere you got to consistently be shopping. If you got her working out, you got to consistently be working out. If you were dicking her down to the flow, you got to keep dicking her down to the flow. You know what I'm saying, whatever it was, you have to stay doing it, and you will keep her one more day and one more day. And keeping the bitch 15 years is just one day at a time. You know what I'm saying? You don't think about, damn, I gotta keep this bitch 25 years. How am I gonna keep her happy? You know, you do it one day at a time. You know what I'm saying? You do all the things that you did to get her that next day. You do all the things you did to get her that next day. You did all the things you did to get her that next day. And if you I train them to be exactly as I want them. You know what I mean? I kind of use the Bible. I use good books. I use good stories from DVDs and documentaries and movies and shit to a good woman. Matter of fact, at the last seminar I did, I was talking about one of my partner's books that he put out, and you know, he's talking about a lot of big time drug guys and everything, man. You know, guys that had 250,000 with them at all times, and you know what I'm saying, multi-million-dollar guys and Rolls Royce driving guys, guys owning apartment buildings, all that kind of shit. And he described a good woman. He said, man, she was a good woman. He had a good wife. She was, you know what I'm saying, she was a good woman. She was his backbone. She worked every day and stayed out his business. And that's cold, man. How in his writing he always say exactly what he mean, and he mean exactly what he say. Like he break it down. He say, man, you know what I'm saying, this guy was a baller. He kept millions of dollars in yay, and he motherfucking kept $250,000 within his reach at all times. Connects loved him because he always paid on time. He was always good. He kept a good face card and everything. So you know, it's a lot of shit that goes with it. It's a lot of shit that goes with it. You dig what I'm saying? I'm hearing this bitch in the background, but it's a lot of shit that goes with it, man. You have to use everything in hand. Um, when I'm training abroad, man, I try to use as much media as I can to keep me from having to do so much hard work. So if I want abroad thinking on hustling, I'm using certain rap songs about getting money, you know what I'm saying, all day, every day. That's all we listening to. From the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep. When she on the way to work, when I'm on the way to work, everything that she hear about, everything that she see is all about getting money. These birds flying in and they flying out the kitchen, you know, and you know, and all kind of shit about Gucci and all kind of shit about all kind of money getting shit. You know what I mean? They hear all of that in every song that I listen to. I don't listen to nothing else other than hustling shit. When I need to be thinking about love and to be believing in love with me, I'm listening to some love shit. You know what I'm saying? I might listen to some Lenny Williams, some "Baby, you know I love you no matter what you do," or that Johnny Guitar Watson, that I'm so proud of you. Yeah, you know what I mean? I gotta say it loud. Yes, I do. Yeah. Oh man, I got so many of them just off the top of my head, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, when I needed to be thinking about some pimping and to be liking pimping, I would listen to some Willie Hutch. The Mac, the Mac, the Mac. He's gonna show you where it's at. You know, or some they say his business is cold and the crime. Willie D. He's operating to cop your mind. Willie D. What is one of my favorite parts? Silk and satin if you pay his price. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He'll set you up in his little paradise. How could you lose? The streets are so alive. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Willie D. You did. So, I only play movies that are saying what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? I only watch documentaries that's about getting money. I only look at magazines. I have Feds magazines out everywhere, scattered across my table and shit, my dining room table and shit. It's about, kingpins who are making money. Everything about me, man, tells one story. You don't have time to tell so many different stories. Oh, I used to be a good guy, and when I was a good guy, I had so many women that ran over me, and fuck all that. They're not trying to hear all that. They want to hear who you are today and who you wish to be. So everything around you should be telling them who you wish to be, and that is training them for the next step of your life. You know what I'm saying? That's training them. Whether you're going towards the streets, it's training them to be ready for the streets. If you going towards corporate America, it's training them to get a job and be ready towards corporate America. Anything that you are saying, anything that you are displaying, you know what I'm saying? You are communicating what you want in your life through them. So if you are fucking around with other bitches, they must think that you want to be a polygamist, because those are the people that fuck around with other bitches. You know what I'm saying? And you can't tell them that you want to be faithful, yet you keep cheating. That don't go together. So you have to be like, hey, I don't believe in monogamy, and you put in a lot of songs where, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers saying, it ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. You know what I'm saying? You put on songs about ain't no nigga like the one I got, no one can fuck you better, sleeps around but he gives me a lot, keeps me in diamonds and leathers. You know what I mean? You play all types of songs to where she'll be okay with the you know what I'm saying? And if you missed that last line, he sleeps around but he gives me a lot. You know what I mean? So you have to train people based on, or at least the way that I do it, man, is based on constant and consistent repetition of songs that they will hear so much that they memorize. Movies that they will see me watching so much that they memorize. I will stop the movie and say, yeah, that's my favorite character. That's a good bitch. He had him a good bitch, man. You see how she was down for him? She jumped in front of the bullet. She did this and she did that. Oh, man, she had never talked to the police, man. That's a stand-up broad. I want to marry a broad like that. So I do a little commentary, but then I get right back to the story. So I don't over talk. I don't want to have to do all the hard work. I want to plant the seed in their head and let the movie fill in all the gaps. I want to plant the seed in their head and let the songs fill in all the gaps. I want to plant the seed in their head and let the book that I left over there that I was so intent on reading, you know what I'm saying, fill in all the gaps. So they read it and be like, damn, what is daddy into? Oh, shit. Earl the Pearl, he got his women's picking pockets and they stealing shit for him, and they keeping him living in a penthouse, and he got 3-piece suits and diamond rings and shit. Damn, that's where daddy trying to go with it. Exactly, bitch. You know what I'm saying? What did they saying? Coming to America, aha, aha. You know what I'm saying? Straight like that. So I let the media do the work for me. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's music, movies, books, magazines, you know what I'm saying, documentaries or anything, man. Or even the people that I hang around. If I'm hanging around pimps, you know what I'm saying, they woman is treating them a certain way, my bitch gonna pick up on it. Like, oh shit, that must be what him and his crew like. You know what I'm saying? Or if I'm around a gang of hoes and they get money and I don't judge them, you know what I'm saying? I don't, you know what I'm saying, act like they nasty or no shit like that. She's like, oh shit, that must be what daddy likes. You dig? So, we can go deeper on that, man, once you join the school, man. You know what I mean? Y'all holler at me, man. You know what I'm saying? Next question, one love.